Hey, are you ready to go? Okay, today's.
It doesn't look any better, Mark.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and make it through this.
Yeah, makes it feel alive. Woo! Oh, I forgot. I'm Mark. That's Ian. And this is beautiful Algonquin Provincial Park. We're traveling through Canada's oldest provincial park in search of history from generations past. Remnants of an alligator. Find out when this was built and for what purpose it was for.
Oh wow, look at that.
Join us on this adventure full of history, natural beauty, and all things Algonquin. Let's go camping. That'll dry in a hurry. Yeah! Titanium! Ah! Now this is solitude. Yum, yum, yum. Good.
We're getting close to having a puddle on our doorstep. Don't push it too much, I'm hanging on.
Yeah. This is Mark in the Park. That was awesome. well, it's 7:45. I was woken up this morning around 4:30 to a wind and a tarp flapping in the wind. I'm like, oh, okay. And then 2 minutes later, more wind, and I'm like, uh-oh, the wind, you know, it woke up. So it's been like this all morning. It's really very fall-like, very, very cool, very windy, very brisk, and from my understanding, the winds are going to pick up today. We're going to get winds gusting to 40 kilometers, to northeast wind, and we're going from Burntroot through, you know, down to Red Pine Bay, through Lemieux, and into Hogan Lake. So we're going to be like in the wind pretty much the whole way. So I think we're going to be tired where we're going by the time we get to Hogan. And if we get to Hogan, I don't know if we're going to make it all the way down to Parks Bay, the other end, or we're going to have to hide in the west side of the lake. So we're just packing up kind of quickly here and want to get on water as soon as we can, so we can kind of avoid, or you know, the worst of it, or at least make some headway before we encounter the worst of the wind that's yet to come. I hear there might even be the risk of a thunderstorm tonight, so I got a feeling it's going to warm up. Yeah, so it should be an interesting day. Could be an exhausting one. We'll see.
Trying to take this sail down without dropping it in the fire.
Hey, here you go. Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Cooking on the box. Thunderbox. Cooking on the Thunderbox.
We're using the fuel, or the fumes from the Thunderbox.
Never thought of that. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that.
Boom! Boom! Just eating some oatmeal here behind the tree because it's really windy. We'll be heading out soon. It's gonna be an interesting battle today. Hey, are you ready to go? Okay, today's.
It doesn't look any better, Mark. Are we gonna try and make it through this?
Yeah, makes it feel alive. Woo! You got your life jacket on.
All right.
Okay, today's about safety.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna try and make it point to point, no open water paddling. Try and get across to a nice sheltered area, reprieve, then go back at it again. I honestly don't know if we're gonna make it to Hogan Lake today. We might have to maybe stay on Lemieux.
Yeah.
But we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna give it a go.
What are the things that I need to know paddling into a wind like this?
You gotta paddle like stink. You're the engine of the canoe, so you gotta paddle. When you get really strong wind gusts, don't waste your energy trying to fight it. Just ease off a bit. Just try and keep us from going backwards.
Right.
My job is, I'm going to be obviously trying to keep us into the wind, because if I lose it, if the wind catches the tip of the canoe and starts to flip it around, we got to commit. We got to turn it right around. Otherwise, we're going to flip and dump into the drink, and we don't want to do that. Now, if we do dump into the drink, okay, don't panic. You got your life jacket. The water is still warm. We'll stick with the canoe, and we'll, depending upon the situation, we'll figure out what we're gonna do. But you will float, you won't drown, you'll be fine. Okay, I know it's Friday the 13th today, but I think we'll be okay. Alrighty?
Fingers crossed.
Any questions?
Nope. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna have about a 40-45 minute paddle to that far shore, then we can have a break.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, one question. Like, at what point do you say, this is not what we're gonna do? Like, I mean, obviously, in this site right here is so much wind. It's so cold. You saw us eating breakfast in the, you know, in the shelter behind a tree.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is doable. This is doable. It's just not going to be fun. The whitecaps aren't that bad right now. The wind, see, now it's starting to pick up and gust a bit. When it comes to the point where we can't make any headroom, then that's just...
Then we come back.
Yeah, then we can't do it.
Okay.
We're windbound.
All right, well, let's give it a shot.
Alrighty, let's go. Woohoo!
I'm glad I kept my sweater on because it's pretty chilly. Hopefully the sun comes out a little bit later today, but I think it's going to be rain.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Put this on so it doesn't roll around.
Yeah. We're just waiting for a lull in the wind before we launch. I don't know, it's supposed to be like winds gusting to 40, but it feels like it's sustained 40, gusting to 60. This is... It's going to be an annoying day to be on the water, but we'll make it. This is fine. This is doable. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go. Let's get out there, man. Not yet. Okay. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Whoa. Okay, you can switch sides. There we go. Woohoo!
Not so bad. Wait for the next gust to come. We made it, Mark.
Yeah, it really helps having you up front there. You're a strong bow paddler. You mentioned you've done some dragon boating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about their technique is it's all about power. So a lot of pushing down on the top hand, and you know, that way you're not, you know, you kind of divide up the power between your arms and using your back as well, and reaching.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was either. Like you know, it was manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once we got out there, it wasn't as scary as it looked. I mean, it was still difficult, but you're like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah, it took us just under 8 minutes to get over here.
Yeah.
Right? I was thinking 40 minutes. So.
I'm glad it wasn't 40 minutes because I would have been exhausted.
Yeah, I've had paddles like that.
So what does the rest of the paddle look like? So we just crossed that one section there.
We just got to go around the bend here into a little into the wind again for just probably 2 or 3 minutes, and then we enter a narrows, and we should be okay there for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we're going to come out onto the top end of Red Pine Bay. So I think we're going to have to stick along the east shoreline until we get into the bay proper, where it really opens up, and we're going to probably have about twice the distance of this exposed to wind.
All right.
But I don't know, we'll have to see how the wind is traveling through the bay. We might be able to stick on one shoreline and stay out of the wind. We'll have to play it by ear. But we're doing good so far.
Yeah. Should we get to it?
Yeah, let's do it. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
Okay, let's go into the wind. Gone with the wind.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. This looks intense. rather than sticking to this shore and just being.
The wind can really play with you.
Finally, the portage.
More paddling ahead.
There's two campsites on the east shore at the east end of Lake Lemure, and I'm thinking, see how we feel when we get to them. If it starts to rain and we're tired, maybe we should just set up camp. What's around that corner? Come with us.
I'll just wait with the car. Yeah?
Oh yeah, you're gonna like it.
Let's do it.
Let's get in here and get set up before that rain hits.
Yep.
Woohoo!
I think I see a little bit of rain off that way.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the canoe backwards so you can get out on this rock here that I'm standing on.
Yep.
Okay. Just get you back a little bit more. There you go. Is that good?
Yep.
Just gonna... Oh, this is slippery. Okay, is that enough room for you?
Yep.
I got it. I got the canoe. Okay. There you go.
Yep.
Hey, where you going?
Just moving stuff out of the way.
Oh, okay. Alright, so we're on a site on Lemure, the southeast side of Lemure. I've never actually camped on this lake, so this is kind of a bit of a treat for me personally. So we're facing west, got a big west-northwest opening to the lake. The wind has died off a bit, but the clouds are moving and you can tell there's rain coming. So we decided to check this side out, and I climbed up these rocks here, and the first thing I saw was this log from shore, and I'm like, I hope the fire pit's not there, but it's a bit deceiving. You get up here, and actually I can feel a few raindrops already. So you come on up in here, and it's like, oh, okay, so the fire pit's not here. That's not too bad. So you just go in here, and yeah, it drops down. There's like all those hemlock trees, is very protected. There are some opening spots. There's great, no, that's not the campsite. Campsite's over here. This is where the real winner is. You got some nice flat spots there. We got a lot of hemlock shading over the fire pit and where we're going to be putting our tent. There's a nice fire pit. This does face south, where the wind's coming from, but right now it's side off and we're actually just like in a little bay, so there's not going to be too much wind coming in here. Even from the west, we're well protected. So, and there's a nice fire pit and bench system, and there's even some firewood left behind for us. So, thank you very much, previous campers, and kindling. So we're going to batten down the hatches and get ready for this rainstorm that's about to come. I think the wind's going to pick up again too. So, this will be nice in here. We'll be protected. It's really interesting. It's just from the water. It's deceiving. It just looks like a really terrible sight, and then you get in here and it's really quite nice. I think we're gonna have a good evening in here tonight, safe and sound, and see what tomorrow's weather brings. Maybe we can get back en route, but we're just so exhausted from the paddling and the wind. And how many hours have we been out here now? 3 hours, 3.5 hours now, and we're just tired. And rather than push ourselves, and that's what happens. You get on a portage and you're tired and you start stumbling and you fall down and twist your ankle or whatever. So I think this is the better option, just to be safe, and so then we can move on and maybe get back en route the next day. So I'm gonna go help Ian set up the tent because I'm already feeling raindrops. So I think it's time to get to work and get ready to ride out this storm. Hopefully we don't get any thunderstorms. Yeah, alrighty. Want some help there, Ian?
Let's do it. We got our tent set up. We got our food over here. We're gonna have a little fire over there, hopefully, if things hold off. And everybody will be happy campers.
Yeah, put the canoe to bed.
Where are you?
Right here.
There you are.
Canoe's in bed.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Did you sing it a lullaby?
I just told it not to go anywhere. not any of those midnight journeys. Yeah.
What do you think, bud?
We're sitting pretty, man.
All right.
It's you can hear it's raining now. I can feel it. I can see it. But we're in before the real stuff hits, so that's good. That's what matters. So if we had pushed on, we'd be paddling in the rain right now.
We actually are going to use our tarp as, I think, cover for the other tent because I think it has a few holes in it. So I'm going to just bring that over to them.
Tent? What? Oh, okay.
I'll leave this here with you guys. And yeah, because the camera guys need to stay dry, right?
I think I just might go into the tent and have a nap for an hour, sleep off the rain a bit, and start thinking about dinner later on. Nice and dry in here and warm. Here comes the rain again, raining on my head like a memory.
Thought I could sit here for a bit, but I think it's starting to get a little heavier. This tree was good shelter for the light rain, but I think it's starting to come in heavier. Gotta take the bad with the good, right? just heard some thunder. Yeah, it was pretty close thunder. I didn't see the flash, but yeah, it's something to worry about a little bit. I'm also thinking that maybe we need to move our tent. Yeah, I think so. We'll wait for Mark to wake up.
Dry out there?
Is it dry out here?
Yeah.
No.
Are you dry out there? No?
Nope.
What's this? Raindrops in here? What's going on? Oh no!
Yep. We're getting close to having a puddle on our doorstep.
Okay, that's fine. I've had puddles before. When camping goes bad.
Don't let it rip on that log. Hit it here. We'll put our ground sheet down.
Yeah. Okay. A bit more this way. Okay.
Feel better about that. Crisis averted. You don't want to wake up in the middle of the night in a puddle.
Yeah, I thought you were yanking my chain there. I'm like, oh, you have a swimming pool. Like, what? Yeah, right, whatever. Look at it now. Yeah, a lot of rain. I think it was a good decision to set up camp where we did, just not put the tent where we did.
Yeah.
But it's okay now. Would have been nice to be able to throw the tarp over the fire pit. That would be a nice setting right now. It's like lots of trees and coverage and benches and stuff.
I guess if you can afford it, 2 tarps would be a good plan.
Well, I've got another tarp at home, but you know, 1 tarp's usually enough. I didn't think somebody would lend us a leaky tent, right? So the person shall remain nameless to protect their identity. The rain has almost stopped, but everything is just soaking wet. So I went into the forest looking for some birch bark paper, found some really tiny amounts of it, and went around like the biggest hemlocks I could find, and went on the one side that was pretty much shadowed from the rain and scooped up as many dry needles as I could. Started a nice little pile of it. Cheated with a little bit of fire starter. It's like a little cube of sawdust and wax held together, and I lit that, put that in there, and covered with a lot of dead pine boughs, and it was going, then it started to go out, and I put more branches on, and now it's a nice warm smoldering mass inside. So eventually all the twigs underneath are going to start to dry out, and it's going to start to catch fire again. I give it maybe a bit more air and it'll go. Whoa. Well, you don't want to smother the fire, you just want to give it enough energy that it can be self-sustaining, and that's what I'm trying to do. However, everything's wet, so I'm just trying to warm what's on top of it, or dry what's on top of it out, so that it too will eventually catch fire and it'll get hotter and hotter. And it's slowly doing that now, so pretty soon I can build up a hot fire. Remember, it's all the wood on the outside that's wet, not on the inside. The inside of the wood is still dry, so it just has to get past that first few layers of damp wood, and then it will catch fire. So now I'm at the point of almost smothering it. I gotta open this up. Just being very patient and meticulous. You can take like the smallest twigs off a tree and it'll dry fairly quickly under a hot flame. And as they do, they begin to ignite and generate more heat. So you basically have to start off really small, and then you build yourself up bigger and bigger twigs into branches. And the wind's starting to kick up again. It's a lot of work. But what else are you going to do? Oh, it's warm too.
I'll give you a hand, Mark.
Okay, thank you. 4 hands are better than 2. So I was just about to start skinning some branches with a knife so I could get to the dry wood underneath and just peel them into the fire. When our cameraman put the camera down and started chiming in with me, blowing the fire, adding more twigs. So, you know, 4 hands are better than 2. And now look at the result. We got a nice fire going. And lined the fire pit with logs on one side that we found here at the site already. So the heat from the fire will dry those out, and then we can start using them as well. So on a day like today, a fire like this is just such a mood changer. It just makes everything so much better. It's better than huddling in your sleeping bag trying to get warm and being miserable. This is awesome.
First injury of the trip. Just a scrape. Yep. Good thing we brought a first aid kit. We were cutting a log, and we put some of that on there. And yeah, I was pushing down on it, and I just got away from me and hit a rock. You just bandage it up. Put some of that on there. When you're doing this, you never really want to touch the clean part of the Band-Aid. Because that goes right onto the wound. Boom, done. Easy peasy.
I just want a piece of meat! Thank you. Come again. Scoop. Summer sausage.
I might go hide in the tent. It's really raining out there right now. Yeah. I'm trying to like dry some of my clothes on the little hanging thing here. It was a pretty exhausting day. But we made it here, and we got here before the rain came, and we got set up and not too wet, so not sure what we're gonna do for dinner, but maybe I'll just go to sleep. Anyway, hopefully it stops raining soon. Alright, it stopped raining, so I thought I would get up and make some dinner because I'm really hungry after all that paddling. This one's kind of neat. It's got a bunch of lines on it, so you know where to fill up the water to. And then this is Cheese Enchilada Ranchero. Woohoo! All right, let's. We got our water boiling over here on the fire, so just waiting for that to get going, and maybe we can wake Mark up with some dinner. That looks pretty good. It looks like there's like little nacho chips in there, but you want to make sure that you take the oxygen absorber out. Don't want to eat that. I'm thinking about it, and all those nacho chips are going to get soggy. I kind of want them to be crunchy. We'll see how it goes. Say that's boiling. I might leave it a few more minutes just because it's lake water. And that is smoky. Right in the eyes. Oh. It's so steamy I can't see where the line is. I think what you're supposed to do is crease it, but that looks about at the right level.
Acronym for what? I don't know. And I was thinking, like,
It's just starting to drizzle again.
Yeah, that's more than drizzle. That's rain. That was drizzle 5 minutes ago. Now it's actually rain.
That looks pretty good.
What's this?
This is a Ranchero cheese queso cheese enchilada Ranchero.
That's not the same as jambalaya.
No, but I think it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Survey says
Titanium grip by the edges. Thank you. Not much flavor there. Mix it up a bit.
Yeah, I didn't really shake it in the bag.
A little bit of flavor in the rice. Yeah, it just has to be mixed up a bit more.
Works in a pinch, eh? Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man, here comes the real rain.
I need to go get my rain jacket. This is not gonna cut it.
I'm gonna go hide behind trees. All right, welcome to Talking by the Fire from Afar under the tarp, Friday the 13th edition.
It was a wet one.
Yeah. Well, once we got here, it got wet. Yeah, so we avoided all the rain. We paddled and portaged for 5 hours, or no, 4 hours. It was a 4-hour day. It was a short day today. But it was really, really windy on Burntroot, trying to get off Burntroot. It was a bit of a battle. And you paddled most amazingly, sir. Yes, good job. Yeah,
It was a tough go. It was you know, I was unsure at the beginning of like how it was gonna go, and we just powered through it, got across, and it was actually neat because we were able to kind of tuck away. We do little stretches, and we'd tuck away behind an outlet or a little point, an island, and we made our way up the bays, and you know, we were able to get a little rest in before getting back at it.
That's the way to do it, is not to fatigue yourself too much. Just go as far as you can and make it to that next rest stop, and then take a break and then carry on. We passed a soloist on the way. He was heading up Burntroot Lake, so he had the wind at his back. Lucky guy. He was double blading it too. So, but yeah, that wind was intense. And going down Red Pine Bay was a bit windy too, of course. But when we got onto Lake Lemure, the wind seemed to have lost some of its power. But we paddled over to the south side, and we were out of the wind.
Yeah.
But even as we paddled east along the lake, the wind seemed to lose its strength. But I think that's because the weather was moving in. We saw that cloud behind us. You could tell the rain was coming. So that's when we made the decision, maybe we should just pick a site now and avoid having to deal with the rain. We were quite tired. I know you were tired. And, why push ourselves, right? Just be safe and get off the water and get camp set up before the rain kicks in. And just as we got the tents up, it started to rain. So good job all around.
I tried to do the food barrel and the canoe at the same time on that portage, but I made it up. There was a number of hills, and there was one in the second last one. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it up this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Got to the top, and then I saw another one. I was like, nope, I'm putting this down.
Yeah.
And then I continued with the barrel to the end, but.
Again, there's that psychological factor. As soon as you see that hill, you're like,
oh, yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it though. It's just, I had no problem. I came back and carried the rest of it over. But that's a steep portage when you're going from Red Pine Bay into Lemure. It just keeps climbing. But even going the other way, I imagine if you're going from Lemure into Red Pine, it still climbs too. Remember how steep it was coming down?
Yeah.
So imagine.
It's even tricky. I mean, I was imagining going the rest of the way, like what it would have been like to have the canoe on your head, and there's boardwalks and like parts where you're going down. That's tricky.
Yeah.
It's got to be tricky.
Imagine if we did that in a rainstorm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least you would have the cover over your head, but
I'm thinking more of the footing, right? It'd be all slippery and yeah.
What was really neat too is that we saw moose tracks, and there's some thunder.
Yeah. The storm's getting closer. Yeah, you're telling me about the moose tracks. Yeah, I saw some too, but they seem pretty fresh.
Yep, right in the mud. I'm like, who's walking down in the mud? Who's walking down there? Oh, and the thing was like, it's pretty big.
Yeah, it was pretty big, yeah. Still haven't seen any moose yet, just lots of waterfowl, cormorants and loons and mergansers, and that's all we ever seem to see. We want moose. Hello, you hear that? Moose. Maybe tomorrow.
Yep. We got a ways to go. Tomorrow we got to finish what we kind of started today.
Yeah, we got, I think tomorrow we're going to end up with 5 portages. Come on, Jeff's map, load up. Alrighty. So we got the 685 into Hogan. We also have the east end of Lemure, which could be a sludge paddle, I don't know. We got to paddle all the way down to the other end of Hogan and the Gypsy Bay, and then we got 3 more portages, 215, a 110, and a 1495. And then we'll be into Phillips Lake for the night, or Phillip Lake.
Well, after Unicorn Hill, I think I can take on anything.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think that the 1495 doesn't really climb at all. It's fairly level. I know there's a drop on one of I think it's the 685 tomorrow. There's a drop right before Hogan. But the next day we've got going into Radiant, we got a 1,085 meter portage, and that's like along an old logging road. So it's flat. Quite easy, yeah. And then we got the 3,565 meter portage in the Radiant. And that's actually quite a nice walk through the forest. Maybe the first 600 or 800 meters is really nasty, but after that it's super flat and it's really easy to do. But for tomorrow, yeah, we're going to be on Hogan Lake, and there's a cliffs of Hogan. If the weather's half decent, maybe we can hike up to the top and get a nice view. Because we've been noticing color change in the last day or so on some of the hilltops. I would say maybe 10% color change, but it's noticeable. You can see it, right? So maybe we'll get something decent if we can get up to the top. So what did we have for dinner?
Oh, we had some, what was it? Cheese Enchilada Ranchero.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah.
You didn't like it.
I found, well, it's not that I didn't like it, I just thought it was kind of bland. It just wasn't seeming much flavor to it. But it was kind of nice to put some hot food in our belly, because you know it's been damp all afternoon and evening now. So, but we got a fire going, but it's raining and we're just getting wet standing there. You know, so next time we get a lull in the rain, we'll probably head back over to the fire. But I don't know. It's getting late. What time is it now? It's 20 to 10, so maybe have one more hot chocolate like you suggested, and then maybe hit the hay. Like you're yawning already.
Right
Yeah,
now.
you're ready for bed too. But hopefully it won't rain or thunder too much tonight. I'd like to get some sleep. But yeah, I mean, kind of a short day today, but from a safety perspective, it was a successful day. So we're here, we're alive, we're fed, ready to go to bed, and I don't know, I think that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
Nope. No, it's been a lot of fun so far. Lots of different experiences, and yeah, looking forward to the rest of it.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and I hear the weather is going to improve. Because we have weather radio, we're able to monitor the weather, and we hear that probably starting tomorrow or Sunday, the weather's going to improve significantly. So hopefully we'll have more to talk about than just the rain and the wind. Good night.